The reality is, from a dollar-to-dollar perspective, under the current system, doctors are only participating at about 31% under the current system on the provider rates, and we set the provider rates. We are the ones that are doing that under the current system. So just because we have a system that's not sustainable today doesn't justify, and talk to me if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but just because we have a system that the legislature has chosen not to adequately fund, and it's not sustainable, if we don't do anything now, doctors are leaving this system because we have not adequately funded them. I don't blame them. They're leaving. So that doesn't justify us not going to the next step and providing additional coverage for people who are uninsured, does it? Help me understand the logic.
Well, first is I try to remind myself not to use the phrase, the word unsustainable. That is a policy decision, a perception that the lawmakers are entitled to, and not me. It's not for me to say something is sustainable or not. Okay. Perhaps it is. I work within the confines.
All right, let me back up.
You're absolutely right.
30 doctors who are participating in 31% under the current system means that a lot of people are having a difficult time accessing a doctor.
Sure.
Okay. And if we don't opt in, that problem remains and gets worse, does it not? If we maintain the current level of funding.
At current level of funding, without my having us collectively, we having an ability to come up with a new system that becomes more efficient. And you and I sort of had part of this discussion the other day, and I'm sorry if I sound redundant. I would like nothing better, even with the existing funding system, to have the flexibility to build a system that providers were trying to get in. I'll give you a quick example. One of the things that we could do.
Kyle, can you move your speaker? Yeah, please.
Sorry. I've got my hearing aids dialed up, and I sound plenty loud to me, so I apologize for that. Aside from that, I'm just tired of hearing myself talk. So, one of the things that you can do in these scenarios, Representative Turner, is to limit the network. You can say to patients, we're going to cover you, we're going to help you, but we're going to limit the network, because with that existing network, even fewer providers, we want to pay them better. Now, obviously, if you make it too few providers, you haven't improved access. But if we limited the network in such a way that rather than dispersing more funds, same amount of funds over more providers, you limited that network, and this has been done before, here in Texas, as a matter of fact. You could pay the providers more and create a system where providers were trying to get in, and do that in such a way, carefully constructed, so that you don't impact access. You may impact the choice of provider, but not necessarily the access to care.